have an idea how to stop war in Gaza. The idea might sound crazy, but if you implement it, it will lead to ceasefire and maybe to the end of the war almost immediately. There are thousands in the US and tens of thousands around the globe who participate in anti-war demonstrations, demanding an immediate ceasefire. Most probably the real motives of those organizers and participants of the protests are hatred of Israel and hatred of Jews, as they demonstrated by verbal and physical attacks against Jews. If their motives were care and love for other human beings, desire to protest war, abuse, suffering, and murder of innocent people, they would organize protests, never heard about one, against all wars, killing of civilians at the hands of any army, not just Israeli. In all war conflicts and starvation of the civilians, which caused hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of deaths of innocent people. If their motive was to protest against desecration of human dignity, they would protest against rape of Yazidi girls and women by ISIS. They would protest rape of Israeli girls and women by Hamas terrorists. But they didn't. In any case, here's the idea. Right now, 132 Israeli hostages held in Gaza by Hamas. If at least 132 people from among those protesters could volunteer to go to Gaza to replace Israeli hostages held by Hamas, so the hostages will be freed and the volunteers would take their place. If more protesters who claim to care for safety of Palestinian people in Gaza can volunteer to become Hamas hostages, it would be even better. Let's just hope that Hamas will treat those volunteer hostages kindly and respectfully, as they claim to treat all hostages according to Islam. In any case, how that exchange would bring a ceasefire in Gaza? First, right now Israel has two goals for the military operation: the release of hostages and elimination of Hamas. If hostages are released, Israel would have less of a reason to continue the war. Second, if 132 or more, the more the better, anti-war protesters from US and or European countries will exchange themselves for Israeli hostages, they will effectively become a human shield for Hamas, which will cause their prospective governments to demand from Israel not to bomb or conduct other operations in areas, right now it's Rafah, where their citizens could be killed or injured. All of the above will most probably lead to a ceasefire in Gaza, and maybe to the end of the war, and everybody will be satisfied. Hostages who suffered so long in captivity will be freed. Palestinians in Gaza and those protesters who sincerely care for them will achieve ceasefire, and those from among protesters who just hate Israel and hate Jews and love Hamas and volunteer to become a human shield for Hamas should be satisfied that, because they will be able to postpone the total elimination of Hamas. So do it. Go to Gaza, exchange yourself for hostages, and bring ceasefire.